Hi everybody, Katie Walsh here, Scentsy Director with the Twinkling Star Sisters, and I'm here today to talk to you all about my do's and don'ts of making connections with customers and or potential recruits. One of the things that I wanted to start off with is probably my biggest do. My biggest do is to eliminate the anticipation of rejection. And I know that for so many of us, this can be so challenging because nobody likes to feel rejected. And I think we have sometimes have our minds made up that we think that by approaching people with the idea of Scentsy could lead to rejection. Now, let's think of, for instance, we go to the store and we discover this most amazing new drink. It's a tea that we just love, and the first thing we want to do is go to work and share it with our coworkers because we just want everyone else in on the excitement that we just discovered. And let's say we go to work and we share that with one of the coworkers and they say, "Oh no, thanks, that raspberry flavor is just not really for me." Do we feel rejection? Probably not, because we're still excited about the product. We just wanted to share it with other people, and it's kind of on them if they're going to take it or leave it. And the best thing that we know we can do is just share the excitement about that tea with people. So why is it that we don't feel that kind of rejection when we're sharing something that we're passionate about? And sometimes people aren't so quick to hop on board with us, that maybe we anticipate we're going to be feeling that rejection when we approach them with our business that we're so passionate about. So we should strive to think more about ways that we can lessen that anticipation of rejection, the same way that we don't feel rejection when people don't want to take part in the other things that we might offer them in life, such as our new favorite tea that we just discovered at the store, for example. So I think when we can go into situations with that mindset and that mentality that if this really isn't for them right now, that's okay. I'm not going to take it personally because it's not about me. It never was about me. If you're presenting this with another person, it's really about them. And that's the same concept that goes along with anything that we're presenting with them. So, and one of the mottos that my director likes to use is, even if it's not for them right now, it's just that. It's not for them right now. It doesn't mean that they might not want to come back and talk about it later. So you still want to keep contact with those people and still stay in touch. Okay, so I started off with my biggest do, and we're going to make sure we're going to keep working on that, right? Yes. Okay, my second biggest do is to talk about Scentsy with absolutely everyone. You love it, it's your business, you're proud of it, and you never know who is going to be the one that wants to hear about it and is excited to know about your Scentsy business. And by holding back, by thinking that maybe we're going to be bothering someone or putting them out by talking about it, I think we should be thinking the opposite. Let's think about who's going to want to talk about it, who's going to want to know more about it. So we do want to be sharing it with absolutely everybody. And that means people that we may not even know already. So when you're out and you're going to Starbucks to get your coffee in the morning and you swipe your credit card, or give them your credit card so they can swipe it, give your business card with it. Let them know, I just included my business card with my credit card and I want you guys to keep it. I'm a Scentsy consultant, and if you ever need anything, let me know. Talk about it with people when you're out at a restaurant. Let your servers know that you are a Scentsy consultant. If you go to Home Goods and you're looking for stuff for your house and you see people in the aisles and they're looking at something that reminds you of a Scentsy product, say, "Hey, I'm a Scentsy consultant and this looks a lot like something that is in our catalog I think you might like. Here's my business card." As you feel like you're kind of leaving your purple trail everywhere you go, you want to make sure that you're also getting people's contact information back. So one of the things that we just talked about at boot camp, which was so amazing, and I'll talk about that in another video, is using these awesome enter my drawing slips. And you can keep these with you and use them when you're on the go. And they're available in the Scentsy Family Store. I'll show them again. Enter my drawing. Um, and when you're on the go and you're making these contacts with people, say to them, by the way, I have a drawing going on that I do every month. Would you like to enter it? And give them a drawing slip, because right then and there, you are getting their contact information. You just made another potential customer and or maybe a recruit, and you can walk away with their information and then follow up with them. So I know a lot of times we're leaving samples and we're leaving credit card, or we're not leaving credit cards, don't do that. We're leaving our business cards, and you want to make sure that you're getting customers' information as well back from all these Scentsy purple trails that you're leaving everywhere. So this is a great way to do that. Enter my drawing slips in the Scentsy Family Store. Okay, let's start with some of my don'ts. I would recommend that you don't feel like you're putting people out when you are approaching them to talk about the business opportunity or about being a customer. Again, I talked about kind of reversing the mentality before, and I think when we approach it from the standpoint of someone might appreciate that I reached out to them because they may need more Scentsy product, or somebody may be really looking for that opportunity in their life. You're thinking more of it on the positive light versus what if, what if, what if, what if they're, what if I bother them, or what if they're annoyed by me approaching them? I'm not sure if I've ever had an experience where I felt like that. And I think if I went into it and anticipating that, then my outcomes wouldn't be so positive. So I don't really think anybody's ever truly bothered by someone that's approaching them about something that's positive and exciting and eventful. And we just have to remember that and keep that in the back of our mind. So don't ever feel like you're going to be putting anybody out or bothering them by something that is awesome and positive and meaningful and exciting in your life, because all that's going to do is that's just going to put out your spark and put out your flame, and we don't want that. Okay, going back to another do. I'm hopping around here. Do gather things about people that you're talking to when you're making contacts. Gather things about them by actively listening. So as you're talking to people, if they start talking about their kids right away, remember in the back of your mind that that's something that they value. Or if they talk about their work, remember that they have a busy job and inquire about what kind of job they have. If you're meeting someone and they start talking about their love for cooking, remember that, because when you remember things that people value and you are able to talk about those things later and make connections with them about those things, you are making it more personal and you're making it more inviting for them to want to know more about your Scentsy world. So, for instance, if I've met someone and they start talking about sports, I can touch on the fact that I am an avid Blackhawks watcher, and I go to my nieces and my nephews' games on the weekends, and I love being an active sports auntie. And we are immediately making those connections. And when you do that, I think people feel more welcome and want to be more part of what it is that you have going on in your life and knowing more about your Scentsy business. And it just becomes easier to talk about those things when we're making connections. So do be listening and remembering what it is that people are about and what they value, because those are also going to be indicators to you as to thinking about if that person would be a really special person to have on your team. Okay. Don't leave a conversation with a potential recruit without obtaining their information. How many times have we talked to someone and we've given them our card and we're like, they're going to call me, and then they don't call you? And that's just, it's so kind of bursts your bubble, hurts a little bit. And we have to remember not to take that personally either, because it could be just that they misplaced the card. But to avoid that happening, and by being prepared and by keeping organized, we can just simply say to them, I really enjoyed talking with you. I have to get running onto work, or I have a place to be, but if you want to leave me your email and your phone number, I would love to call you later so we could talk more about this, and talk more about the business opportunity. And make sure you're getting their contact information so you can follow up, and they'll appreciate it. Okay, and my last don't to end with is, don't think that Scentsy is too saturated. It's not. There is a awesome flyer that's been floating around right now in groups, and I forget the name of it, but it shows the population by country and the population of Scentsy consultants right next to it. And the population of individuals in that country to the population of Scentsy consultants is the ratio of it is astronomical. It leaves so much room for growth. And by looking at that chart, that can help you think to yourself and target, who do I know in those places, and how can I start to branch out, not just here, but throughout the country and globally. So don't think it's too saturated. There's also an awesome flyer in our workstation that shows the number of consultants, I think by state. I'm fairly certain that it's in there. And look at that as well. I've utilized that to think about who I might want to reach out to that I know that live in those states, and see if they have any interest, or if they might know someone that would. And it's led to excellent results for me. So it's definitely not too saturated, and it's a great time to continue to keep building your team and growing in the nation and growing globally. So I hope you have found these do's and don'ts helpful for you in making future customer and recruit contacts. And I hope you have a great day. We'll see you soon.